Okay. So this demo is for the Guidewire manual testing. So first of all, we should know what is a Guidewire. So Guidewire is a software company, like we have a Microsoft, Google, Amazon, right? In the similar way, Guidewire is a software company and which provides the software and the data services to the property and casualty insurance. So what is a property and casualty insurance, which is also in short form, it is called as a PNC industry. So the company products cover the three primary operational functions of an insurance provider. So policy, billings, and claims. So this Guidewire has a three major products. Okay, within the Guidewire itself, we have a three products. So the first product is a policy center, second one is a billing center, and the claims is a claim center. In the, let's say example, we have a Microsoft company, and Microsoft have a different products. Like one product is Office, one product is operating system. They have a different Xbox, so they have a different set of products, right? In the similar way, even Guidewire has a different dealing with the multiple products. So one is a policy center, billing center, and claim center. So if you want to know more details about the Guidewire project or Guidewire, how it works, who are their clients and all, you can open this guidewire.com and you can have a look into it. And the next thing, what is a PNC insurance? So PNC is nothing but property and casualty insurance. Is a insurance on homes, cars, business. That's it. So PNC deals with the insurance policies only for the home. Home is nothing but the property. Car is nothing but any auto or whatever it is, vehicles, and the businesses. Business is nothing but home is also having the business. Either it is a commercial property or the personal property. Commercial property is nothing but the apartments, shops, and all, right? Those are called as a commercial property. If it is a personal things, then it is comes under the personal property. Cars is nothing but if it's a personal means it's a owned vehicle. If it is a business is nothing but the commercial, like the rental basis or any Uber or whatever it is. So those are coming to as the business purpose. So this is about the PNC insurance, and PNC does not deal with the health and life insurances. So we have a different set of insurance as well. In India, you might have heard about the health insurances and life insurance, right? So those are not comes under the PNC insurance. Guidewire can deal only with the homes, cars, and the business purpose. And other business like business operations, workers' compensations, so different thing. So even that also can be easily deal with the PNC insurance. Yeah. So what is a Guidewire? So Guidewire provides a base products to the clients. They modify the base applications behave to support the specific business requirements. So usually why Guidewire is nothing but Guidewire already have a tool. It's already policy center, billing center, claim center. So the application is already available. So in the real time, any client who bought this Guidewire project based on their requirement, so they will do some modifications. Based on the modifications, developers have to develop, testers has to test. Simple thing. So, but the application is already tested and available. Okay. So based on the business requirement, the base application will be modified. Simple. So main advantage of this Guidewire is nothing but the Guidewire have some set of the resources. Guidewire provides a set of resources for requirement gathering, development, testing, and support. So in the software development lifecycle, right? So every role has to do some part of their own job. So in their own job, like a developer has to develop some code, tester has to write the test cases, they need to execute the test cases and all. Even the business analyst, he has to go through the user stories and he needs to write the acceptance criteria. So everything will be given by the Guidewire itself, like how the test case of the Guidewire should looks like. And there have to be some set of the rules. So based on the set of the rules, even business analyst should write the acceptance criteria and he has to derive the user stories. And from the testing point of view also, we have to maintain the same kind of the test cases and the test steps and the same column names. Like rather than other projects like banking or e-commerce, Guidewire has a different set of the test cases where by seeing itself, you can say this is that insurance domain test case, like the LOB, what kind of the LOB they are using, the state, for which state it is going to implement it, the transaction of the policy, these kind of the different things. Okay. And the next thing is like the Guidewire is also support both the configuration and integrations. In the Guidewire, you can do the configuration parts, and if you want to work as an automation or API tester, then you should be aware of the some integration concepts as well. And these are the basic tools of the Guidewire, like marketplace, product design, accelerators and extensions, training and worksheets, framework, Guidewire Easy Guide, and user story guides. Once you join in any company and you get a chance to work on the Guidewire, right? So you will be getting the chance to access each and everything. Let's say as a tester, you want to go through the user story guide, you will be getting the Guidewire PDF to learn about the Guidewire. Okay, how the Guidewire works, what is the step-by-step guide. So Guidewire Easy Guide. For developers, they will be getting the framework, and they will be getting the accelerator and extensions to develop their code and all. Everything will be provided by the Guidewire. So that is why Guidewire is a very easy to implement and easy to develop, easy to test as well. Other insurance product, yeah, there are some competitors in the market of the Guidewire. So first one is a Duck Creek, second one is a Majesco, and there are some own portals are there where the clients are creating the policies on their own web applications. Okay, so this is about the introduction of the Guidewire. Okay, so Guidewire insurance products, as I told in the previous slide, Guidewire has a three main products. First one is a policy center, next a billing center, and third one is a claim center. All these three are interrelated or integrated in any project. Okay, so what does policy center does is like I mean, usually to create a policy or modify the policy, to cancel the policy or renew the policy, everything will be done through the policy center itself. Or if in the policy any claim needs to be raised, right, that should be done through the claim center team. So they will be having a different web application to create a claim on top of the policy. If something related to the payments, like we have a credit card payments, EFT, credit card and all, right? So all the payment related information, agent related information, everything will be dealt through the billing center. But in our training, we are learning only of the policy center. So it will be enough to crack any job. So if you know about the policy center, it will be enough. So because it has there is a lot of concepts in the policy center. If you learn about the policy center, remaining two is a very easy. So in the real-time projects also, the job description will be, the candidate should be aware of any one of the tool. Okay, and the major tool is the policy center. So it will be enough. So all these three tools are called as a Guidewire Insurance Suite. Okay, so this is called as a insurance suite, and this Guidewire Insurance Suite has a three products: policy center, claim center, and billing center. So the current versions of the Guidewire is 10.0. Every product has some versions. Let's say if you are talking about the Windows, right? So Windows has a Windows, now the market is a Windows 11, correct? So previously it is a Windows 9 and Windows 10 is there, Windows 8 is there, Windows 7. In the similar way, the policy center or the Guidewire, the current market version is 10.0. Okay. So this is a similar of SDLC process. So Guidewire project life cycle. So every Guidewire project starts with the pre-inception and inception process. So in this process, usually the inception planning will be done, define the business rules, any infrastructure related things, project governance, any training should be needed, or training should go through by all the resources, or like QA or developer, they will go through the trainings. Any certifications needs to be done by the team. So everybody has to go through the documents and they have to clear the certifications. And from the business point of view, they will derive the planning level and the sprint level, the estimations, everything will be derived in the pre-inception and inception phase. So in this phase, everybody will be involved, like a product owner, developer, and project manager, QA or B. So QA is nothing but not every QA team member will be involved. Basically, the QA manager or QA lead. So those are enough because these are the high-level planning. And once this planning is done, then development phase will be started. In the development, based on the requirements given by the business rules, right? So the developer will start working on the development, and those developer will perform the define and develop, and he also conduct the unit test, and developer should provide the demo based on the sprint scope. So once the development is done, the next phase is called as a stabilization, which is also called as a testing phase. In the stabilization phase, it will be done by the quality analyst. So sometimes the performance testing and integration testing and automation testing, everything will be done through this stabilization phase itself. And sometimes once the sprint is going to be end, right? So as a QA or QA lead or QA manager or whoever it is, they have to provide the demo, how exactly they have tested, how many test cases they have executed, how many failed, how many passed. So everything they need to explain as a part of a demo. So once the QA phase is completed, the next phase is a deployment. So usually the deployment won't be done in the production phase. So first it will be done in the pre-production, then followed by the production. So it will be done by developer usually. It starts with the pilot deployment till the full deployment. So that is what I told. First, it will start with the step-by-step pilot deployment till to the full deployment. And the last one is support and success. Once the project, everything is completed, it will move to the production. In the production, the real-time users will be using the Guidewire applications. So if they wanted to change any enhancements or they wanted to modify any screen, they wanted to add any addition of any fields or updates or anything, right? So they will inform to the team, and again, the rules will be added. So those rules will be developed and tested accordingly. So it is a sequence of the life cycle of the Guidewire. So the results of this project lifecycle, so it has a better implementation. So obviously it improves the efficiency, and the accountability also will be enhanced, and it will be having a good quality.
Ram?
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, I have one doubt. Actually, from where we are working, from where our role is started in this phase? Okay. So our actual phase starts in the stabilization. Okay. So this is where our testing starts. Testing starts is nothing but we have to write the test cases and we need to execute the test cases. So in the stabilization, only the test case executions will be happened. Okay. But to writing the test cases, you have to author the test cases. You need to write the scenarios. You need to prepare come up with the scenarios that will be done in the development phase also. Whenever the development phase started, right, the QA won't be sitting idle. So okay, you should be aware of the project life cycle first. See, the simple thing is like first a BA will be writing some acceptance criteria or user stories. Okay, once the user story is defined, then developer start working on his code. Okay. Meantime, QA also writing the test cases based on the rules. Okay. Once this test case design is completed, and meantime developer, they are developing their code. Once the code is completed and pushed to the QA environment, those test cases will be executed in the stabilization phase. So usually the QA will be involved in everywhere. So here he will be going through the requirements at high level sometimes based on the experience. Okay, so the QA will provide the estimations. Estimation is nothing but based on the experience or QA lead, right? So if any rule is given like creation of the policy, okay, so the lead will say like to create a policy, I need a 1 day, 8 hours. So these kind of estimations, everything will be involved here. In the development also, the test case design will be there. Here, the QA will be test case executions should performed by the QA. And the deployment usually it won't be there, but in the pre-production, some of the test cases needs to be executed by the QA, like regression testing, UAT test cases, smoke test cases, sanity test cases. Those kind of the test cases should be executed in the deployment. So ideally, the QA will be involved everywhere. Okay. Yeah. For that, you should know about the project lifecycle, SDLC and STLC. Okay. So QA has to be there every time. It's important. Okay. Then Guidewire Policy Center. So Policy Center usually, it is a web-based product, web-based project, and it is underwriting and policy administration system designed for the personal and commercial lines in the property and casualty industry. So Policy Center is not a desktop or a standalone application. It is a web-based, like, you are using any bank website, right? So in the same way, you have to enter the URL. So you have to, log in with the correct credentials. Then only you will be able to access the Policy Center application. So Policy Center delivers
convenient access to the agents, streamline producer relationship, and improves the underwriting risk management. So basically the Guidewire will be used by either agents or underwriting. So mostly these two roles will be used by the Guidewire Policy Center tool. Okay. Then using the Policy Center, carriers are able to quickly respond to the change in business requirements and grow the business in a way current legacy systems cannot. So Guidewire Policy Center has one of the beautiful concept, they have a lot of the configuration integrations, and it is a user friendly. They have a step-by-step, sequence of the policy creations. It can be done the different policy transactions where the previous legacy systems cannot. So Guidewire has started before 10 years back, but nowadays so many people are using. But before 10 years, how these policies were created? Any idea you have how the policies were created before the Policy Center, come into the picture? Okay, so there were some mainframe systems. Okay, so usually everybody used to create the policies through mainframes. Once the Policy Center or Duck Creek, everybody started, right? So nobody using the mainframes. It's a very difficult, creating the policy through mainframes. So that is why everybody started working on this Policy Center. So typical users such as underwriter and producers can create the managing policy. They can create and manage the policies, service accounts, evaluate risk, view policies, create activities, and handling the inquiries. So all these kind of the things can be done by the producers, which is also called as the agents, and also the underwriters. Okay, so they can do everything. They can create the policy, they can manage the policy, they can handling the accounts, they can remove the account, they can evaluate the risk. Either the risk can be approve or reject, or they can view the policy, modify the policy, they can create activity, and they can handle the inquiries as well. So these many things can be done by these two roles in the Policy Center, because all these things cannot be done in the legacy systems. And integrations are easily enabled with the other Guidewire projects such as billing and the claim center or contact manager. Say the one of the good thing about the Policy Center is it can be easily integrated with anything. Not only the Guidewire products like claim center and billing center, you get any one of the third party. Let's say the payment systems. Okay, like if you want to pay the premium amount of the policy, you can be easily done through the Guidewire because it can easily integrated with any payment service, either EFT or credit card systems, anything. It can be easily integrated. So there are hundreds of the integrations. It can be easily integrated with the Guidewire systems. Major roles in the Policy Centers are agent, underwriters, claim staffs, and auditors. Developers, okay. Developers use the Guidewire Studio as the integrated development environment to configure Policy Center to meet the business needs. So in any other projects, right? Guidewires will be using like Eclipse, okay, or they will be working on the IntelliJ or whatever it is, NetBeans or anything. But Guidewire will not support all those products. All those IDEs will not be work on the Guidewire. Guidewire supports only their own product, which is called as the Guidewire Studio. Okay, so use the Guidewire Studio. Only in the Guidewire Studio, a developer should use the Guidewire Studio to develop their code. Otherwise, it will not work. So this is their integrated development environment.
So Ram, I have a question, right?
Yeah.
So you said Guidewire Studio they are using, right? Dev uses the Guidewire Studio to develop any kind of functionality. So what is the language they'll be using? It's something different as a Guidewire
language? It is a Gosu language. For them,
Gosu.
they will be using the Gosu language. They cannot use JavaScript, Python, C++, nothing. So Guidewire supports the Gosu. It is a similar to the basic concepts of the Java, like OOPS concepts and all. But you should tester, we don't need any, not even a single line of a code we are not writing. But it's always good to aware like which language they are using. It is a Gosu. Okay. Yeah. So this is usually how the Guidewire Policy Center, the login screen looks like. As I told you, this one is a web application, and you need to log in with the username and password. And the URL will be localhost 8180 PC Policy Center do. Every Guidewire URL looks like the similar.
/pc/policy-center.do. If it is a claim center /cc claim center.do. But the local host I have here, we are logging in our local system, right? So that is where the URL is a local. But let's say if you are working on any one of the client, so this will be replaced with the client name. Simple. Let's say like you are working on NJM, right? So this will be NJM/PC/policy-center.do. And the Guidewire will not support the back button. Okay, here you can see the back button, right? It will not support, and you cannot refresh the screens as well, because every Guidewire screen is a dynamically change each and every field. Let's say example, you have a bank. Okay, you have a bank account and you have logged in today, and if you logged in tomorrow, right, the screens won't be same. Screens means the field name. The balance will not be same tomorrow. So always it's keep on changing, right? In all the numbers. In the similar way, in the policy center also, all the policies numbers will be added. Everything will be keep on changing. So the screens are dynamic. It's not a static. Okay. Due to the dynamic behavior, this back button and refresh won't be available in the guide. And this is high level. You can see the policy center, policy center application. Here the policy is already created, and you can see the different sections. The first section is a tab bar, and the second section is information bar, where you can see the information of the policy, when the policy is created, when the policy is going to expire, the policy number, the account number, whether these policies belong to auto or home. You can see here the icon car, right? So those kind of things. On the left side, you can see the sidebar to navigate from one screen to another screen. And in the fourth screen, it is a main screen area. You can see the in detail section of the whatever the screen you have entered from this sidebar. So like say if you selected this driver, you can see all the driver related information. If you click on this payment, all the payment related information can be seen in the summary screen. And the last one is a fifth one. It is a workspace. Like this will be used to exchange the notes or exchange the comments between underwriter to agent. Let's say this policy created by the agent, then agent wants to give some information to the underwriter. So he can put some notes here and it will be added. The underwriter will get the notification that this policy has some risk or whatever it is. Then that will be notified to the underwriter. So this is usually, high level. I have explained how the policy center looks like. This is the login screen. You can see this login screen color and all is different from this screen. So I deliberately added the different coloring screens, to make you aware, like this is the 10.0 version. Whatever you are seeing in the green and light blue, dark blue or gray, right? So in the 10.0 version, you can see this is the one, and this is the latest one. And this is a very old one. It is a 7.0 version. So after 7, 8, 9, it looks like same. Okay, 7, 8, 9, you can see all this blue color and all, but in the 10, it will be like this. Okay. So line of businesses. So these many products, the Guidewire will be handling. First one is a business auto or business operations, commercial lines or commercial property, general liability, inland marine, personal auto, and workers' compensation. But as a part of our training, I am covering any 4 or 5 LOBs. Those are enough to crack any job in the Guidewire Policy Center. So the major LOBs are like, first thing I am covering like a personal auto, then personal property, commercial auto, commercial property, and workers' compensation. Any 4 or 5 we are learning as a part of the Guidewire testing course. So those are enough. Actually, any 2 are enough, but as a part of our training, I'm covering 5 LOBs. Okay. If you go to any project, right, in the world, if it is a Guidewire project, they will be using only these LOBs. I don't think so any one of the LOBs will be supported. So like, I think you are also working on it could be any one of the LOB, right? Either property or auto.
Yeah, it's property.
Property. Is it a commercial or into?
It's commercial.
Commercial. Okay. So policy center live transactions. So these many transactions will be covered in the policy center, like from the creation of the submission, and the submission will be bound. The policy changes, renewals, cancellations, reinstatements, and the rewrite. So Rajita, don't worry about what this can be little bit new for you, but don't worry, I will be explaining everything like what the transaction, when it will be
Yeah, I'm
performed.
feeling it's little
Yeah.
bit fast.
Yeah, don't worry. But this is a demo, right? I'm just explaining what and all will be covered actually.
Okay.
Why Guidewire and what are the advantages, right? So you should aware why Guidewire is important in the insurance industry.
Okay.
Yeah. And Guidewire roles and responsibilities, like as a Guidewire QA, these many things we should perform. As a Guidewire team member, as a tester, a QA should always interact with the developer as well as a business analyst. Because to write the test cases, we should get inputs from the business analyst, and the same thing will be developed by the developer. We always have to integrate with the developer. Okay, sometimes developer also might think the incorrect requirements, so we need to correct them. So that is the reason all the three roles should be all the time interact every day. If something is missed, then the requirement will be wrong, and the developer will develop something incorrect, and tester will test something. Then the project will be have a very bad quality. And Guidewire tester, he or she should involve in each and everything, every phase of the Guidewire project lifecycle, starting from the inception till support. Testers should understand the agile methodology, the current methodology using in any Guidewire project is agile scrum methodology. DevOps is not yet started. Okay, so mostly all the projects will be having the agile methodology. And the testers use the acceptance criteria to define the test cases. So based on that, they can pass or fail the test case. So testers has to interact with the BAs and SMEs to execute the positive testing, negative testing, any out of the box testing. So all everything should be tested successfully by the QA. It can be achieved only if you interact with the BA and SMEs. Otherwise, it is not. Because as a tester, we write that only positive test cases, unless you have a very good experience. But if you do not have a good experience, either your lead or BA or SMEs, so they will also inform like, have you covered this test case or not? You should write this test case and you have to execute this alternative flow or exception. And obviously, as a tester, you need to execute it, and you have to confirm whether it is a defect or not, and you need to follow up with the developer till the defect is closed. And sometimes a QA has to give the demonstrations of the requirements as well, but usually this will be taken care by the leads. Okay. And QA has to prepare the matrices, like how many test cases passed, how many failed, how many defects opened, closed, or rejected, or whatever it is. Type of the testing in Guidewire. So Guidewire usually deal with these many testings. In our training also, we are learning everything like the product model, forms testing, underwriting and assignment rules, validation error messages, premium validations, and rating we are not covering, but this is a very big concept again. But I'm just added here because this is also one of the type of the testing. Usually this will be done by the automation team. And Guidewire upgrade, this is also we are not covering. This is a very simple thing. But in some of the projects, right, even there will be some upgrade projects, and activities also we are covering. And the configurations, we are covering as a part of the Guidewire training. Integrations we are not covering. This will be done by the API testing team and not a manual testing. So this is a integration testing. But I can explain you what are the integration things will be involved in the commercial lines or the personal lines. So a tester should perform the regression and the smoke testing as a part of the manual testing. Performance will be done as a need basis, and automation also will be performed as a need basis. So usually a tester will do, perform these many type of the testing along with these are the responsibilities. Yeah, so that's all about demo of this Guidewire testing. Any questions? Feel free to ask anything, whatever the questions are.
Yeah, so
okay.
Go ahead, Rajita.
Anyone?
Yeah, could you explain any live scenarios of these test cases, like workflows in training?
Sorry, can you come again? Live scenarios?
like live working scenarios, how we are going to write the test cases and that all. Any live work.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. See, my training involved like, okay, first you learn about the Guidewire application.
Okay.
Okay. How you log into the application, how do you create the policy, in the creation of the policy, what and all will be involved, and how many user roles will be there, what are the different transactions, how the transactions will be behaved, and based on the requirements, how you are creating the policies. Okay, first you are familiar with the application, right? Then you can easily write the test cases.
Okay.
Okay, if you don't understand the application, let's say, you have joined any one ABC project. Okay, then you got some requirement. You know what is a requirement, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So you got some requirement. So as a tester, you will be reading the requirement and acceptance criteria. But if you don't know the Guidewire tool at all, you won't understand what is acceptance criteria written and what is the description of the user story. Okay, let's say the user story says like, as a producer, I want to cancel the policy. Okay. But there will be so many steps will be written. But you don't know what is the cancellation of the policy at all.
Okay.
That you can learn through Guidewire. Okay. So what I suggest is like, first learn the Guidewire tool. Okay, clearly. I mean, if you learn the Guidewire tool with a good knowledge, you can easily write the test cases, you can execute it, and you can easily understand the business rules, acceptance criteria, user stories, whatever it is. If you don't know Guidewire, even though the business analyst, written the user story very in detail, you will not understand. Okay. So in my training, I will be explaining clearly what is a Guidewire tool, how the configuration will be done, how the execution will be done, how the test cases will be created and executed. So don't worry about that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So what I say is like, forget about the testing. First learn Guidewire.
Okay.
Okay. Testing anyway you can do by learning the manual testing, because testing process is similar. You go to banking project, e-commerce, or whatever it is, the testing is same. You are going through the requirements, you are writing the test cases, scenarios, executing, you are raising the defect. But here, this is a Guidewire project. Guidewire project means you need to learn the Guidewire tool first.
Okay.
Okay. So your main motivation is always, to learn the Guidewire tool. Forget about how the testing will be done. Okay. Yeah. And one more thing I forgot to mention, to clear these Guidewire interviews, right? The main thing you should be aware of, like, first one, insurance domain. Okay. So you should know about the insurance domain. Second one is a Guidewire tool. Third one is a testing concepts. Because every interview have these modules. First, any interviewer will start with the Guidewire tool. Okay, what do you know about the Guidewire? How do you perform the hands-on in the Guidewire tool? These many questions he will ask. Then he or she might ask you some questions on the insurance concepts. Who is the agent? What is the premium? These kind of things. Then last 5 minutes, he will cover like, how do you perform the testing? How do you write the test cases and all. But the main 20 minutes in the half an hour, 80% goes on the Guidewire tool itself. Okay. Did I answer your question, Rajita?
Yes.
Okay. Azhar, you have any question?
Yeah, so basically I have only one question. Like we have many different Guidewire, or not Guidewire, like insurance product, right? Like Duck Creek, you said portals and Majesco or something like that. So what is the difference between these products and with respect to Guidewire? Like what is the benefits we are getting from this Guidewire when compared to these applications?
The main thing is like the integrations. Okay. So the Guidewire is easily integrated with Billing Center and Claims. Okay. Let's say you have created the policy in Majesco, or you created the policy in Duck Creek. Okay. You can easily pull that policy in the Guidewire Center, and you can open the claim as well, the Guidewire Claim Center.
Okay.
Okay. So it can be easily integrated. And the Guidewire has a lot of integration technologies, like let's say in the rating engine. Even the Guidewire supports the rating engine. You can easily load the ratings, and you can easily identify how the premium is working on. Okay, each and everything easily integrated in the Guidewire application. And whatever it is, let's say there is a clue reports. Are you aware of these clue reports or VMM or anything?
No, I'm not.
Okay. See, there are hundreds of the integration points are there with respect to the Guidewire. So each and everything easily deal with these integration points in the Guidewire tool. And LexicNext is also easily will be integrated. And now the Guidewire has started the cloud operations. So now, so the current market, everybody is asking the Guidewire cloud only. Okay, but don't worry about that cloud and all. So, but the current version of the Guidewire is there is a Guidewire cloud projects. So it can be easily accessed everywhere. But I don't think so. The Duck Creek Majesco, they have not it started in the Guidewire cloud.
Okay.
There are various advantages in the Guidewire. Yeah, that is I told you, right? Guidewire itself will provide a lot of the resources. For developers, Guidewire itself will give you what to download from their site. All the accelerators, all the extensions. Okay, so everything will be given by the Guidewire itself. Even for QA also, if you are working on the APIs, right, everything will be given by the Guidewire with the using the integration gate. So even Guidewire itself will provide, and each and every support will be given the Guidewire. And one more thing, in each and every project, right, in the Guidewire, a Guidewire person will also involve. So in case any developer has any questions, right, then he can interact with the Guidewire team. Guidewire team will be there from the Guidewire company. So they get all the help from the Guidewire team. So that the project will be the good quality. So it won't be stopped. So Guidewire also will support. And yeah, if you work in any Guidewire project, like the Guidewire team member will be there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they support. But usually the developers will interact as a QA, right? We don't need much because we usually done these test cases and execution.
Okay.
But
so
when it is coming to integrations, yes, Guidewire has a very advantage. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, so basically, like we are getting as a base product, right? Like what you have told, like in the one of the slide. So we are getting the product from the Guidewire. So then we are almost customizing, right?
Correct.
We are changing as per our needs. Okay.
Yeah. The similar kind of thing. Let's say if you are using HP laptop, I'm just giving one example. HP in laptop, you can see Windows, but when you log into the Windows system, you can see HP logos, HP support and all. Correct. The reason is like HP bought the Windows operating system and they customized it because their clients wants to see HP logo everywhere, even though in the Windows. Correct. And their advantage is like they will provide the more support. Correct. Based on their, they have some set of own, antivirus systems, so it should support. So because of that, okay. So in the similar way, the base products are always the customized based on the client needs. Let's say the client wants to, add some more discounts. So that can be done in the Guidewire. Example, I'm just giving one small example here. Yeah.
Okay.
Rajita, you have any questions?
Yeah, no.
Okay. So one more thing I just wanted to add, like Azhar, you asked, right? I mean, the main advantages why Guidewire has a more in the market, why all the clients are using more projects in the Guidewire, right? So you just go through this guidewire.com. Okay. Just go to the customer count. Okay. And see how many clients are using this Guidewire tool. See. Just I wanted to see the only American clients. I'm not saying, EMEA or Asia Pacific. The Eastern countries I'm not checking. See. Here itself around 9. So one page has around 15, right? 15 or no, more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 15 into 5, even 145 insurance companies are using this Guidewire tool. You can see AAA, AF Group, AMA, Alpha Insurance, American Modern, something, Amica, Adway. So you said NJ, right? Just go to NJ. Let's see whether they are using the Guidewire tool or not. Right, New Jersey. See this one, right? NJ, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even they are also using the Guidewire tool, but they are using line of business of commercial and personal lines. See,
I
workers'
think that is
compensation.
below, like NGM New Insurance Group, right? At below.
Oh, this one. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So you can see they are using the policy center, billing center, and claim center. All these products these client is using, and they are into commercial lines, personal lines, and workers' compensation. These many clients are using the Guidewire tool. You take anything, let's say, I mean, what is this, Qualitas, right? So they are using insurance now and something credit, whatever it is.
Yeah,
pure
Ram,
insurance. Yes, yeah, please go ahead.
how will be the openings in policy center testing?
See, what I am saying is like, there are, the resources are very less in the Guidewire market. Forget about the openings, okay? But the resources itself is not available actually. And if there are any openings are available, right, in the guide, let's say one company, L&T Mindtree, they currently, even if you open Naukri or let me stop sharing and stop recording.